All right, hi guys. We're going to start by simplifying square roots today. Just give you a little introduction of it. Okay, so if subtracting is the opposite of adding and dividing is the opposite of multiplying, what is the opposite of squaring a number? That would be finding the square root of that number. Okay, so this is where knowing your perfect squares will come in handy. So the square root of 36 is going to be 6 because 6 times 6 gives us 36. The square root of 81 is going to be 9. 9 times 9 gives us 81. And the square root of 144 will be 12. Okay, scrolling down to where they get a little bit harder. Square root of 18. 18 is not a perfect square, so you need to find the biggest perfect square possible that will go into 18. So if we think about what goes into 18, what two numbers we can multiply to get 18, that would be 9 and 2. We're going to do a little factor tree here, okay? So I am going to circle the number 2 because 2 is what I call a dead number, that it can't go any further because the only other thing that will multiply to give me 2 is 2 times 1, and that doesn't matter, so it stops at 2. 9 is going to break down into 3 and 3. So 3 and 3 are perfect squares, so 3 and 3 are dead numbers, so I'm going to circle them as well. Now I'm going to write all my dead numbers, so 2, 3, and 3 under the square root. Square means 2, so I'm looking for groups of 2 of the same number. As you can see, I have a pair of 3s. If I have a pair of 3s, that means that is going to come on the outside of the square root, and if I have a number left over, that's going to stay on the inside. So my 2 is going to stay on the inside. If I have one group of 3s, then I'm pulling out 1 3. Okay, so that would be your answer right there. Okay, now I am going to do example number 5. So what do we know goes into 72? 9 and 8. You can start with any numbers you want. That's totally up to you. We're going to go ahead and keep breaking them down. 3 and 3. Again, those are dead numbers. Can't go any further. We need to go further on the other side. 8 breaks down into 2 and 4. 2 is a dead number. 4 is going to break down into 2 and 2. These are dead numbers. And now I can't go any further, okay? So I'm going to write these all under a square root. There, I have 3 2s and I have 2 3s. Now I'm looking for groups of 2. So I have a pair of 3s and I also have a pair of 2s. Okay, now I need to pull one of each of these out. So I'm going to put 3 times 2 on the outside, okay? It would be in parentheses because I'm pulling outside. I have a 2 left over on the inside, so I'm going to leave that on the inside. Now, because I have numbers here on the outside, I need to multiply them together to give me 3 times 2, which is 6, square root of 2, and that would be my final answer. Okay? Moving on to example 6. Square root of 32, not a perfect square, so I need to find the biggest perfect square that goes into it. If I know that it's an even number, so I'm going to divide it by 2. Well, 2 times what gives me 32? That would be 16. If you know that 16 is a perfect square, you can just take the square root of 16, and that will go on the outside. And 2 is your dead number, so that would stay on the inside. But I'm going to go ahead and break it down like I've been breaking it down. 4 times 4 gives me 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. Okay, so all dead numbers here. I have 5 2s. Looking for groups of 2. There's one with one left over. So again, these are both coming on the outside. So 2 times 2 on the outside with a 2 left on the inside. Multiply those numbers on the outside to give me 4 square root of 2. All right, example number 7, square root of 40. So 2 easy numbers that go into 40 are 4 and 10. 4 is going to break down into 2 and 2. Dead numbers. 10 is going to break down into 2 and 5. Those are both also dead numbers. Okay, now those are all going underneath the square root. 2 times 2 times 5. Forgot a 2. Just put it in the front. So 3 2s and a 5. Looking for a group of 2. There's 1 right there. Okay, I can't do anything with my 2 and 5 because I don't have a pair of those. So my group of 2s is coming on the outside to give me 2. And I still have 2 times 5 left on the inside, so I'm going to need to go ahead and multiply those. So 2 times 5 is going to give me 10, and that would be your final answer. All right, example 8 here. I have a really big number, 1536. It is an even number, so you can make it simple and just divide by 2 and see what it gives you. And I'm just going to go ahead and do that. So 1536 divided by 2 gives me 768. 768 is also an even number, so I'm going to divide that by 2 to give me 384. 384 is also an even number, so divide that by 2, and I'm going to get 192. 192 divided by 2, even number again, gives me 96. Even, divide by 2, I get 48. 48 divided by 2 is 24. 24 divided by 2 is 12. 12 divided by 2 is 6. 6 divided by 2 is 3 times 2. And I will be done there because 3 and 2 are dead numbers. So all the numbers I am circling are going under the square root to see what I have left. So square root, let's see how many 2's we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 2's. So if I have 9 2's, how many pairs can I get out of them? 3. Well, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have 4 pairs. That means I'm going to bring 4 2's to the outside. I'll have to multiply all those, and I have a 3 times 2 on the inside, so I'm going to go ahead and multiply those to give me 6. Multiply 2 times 2, that gives me 4. 2 times 2 gives me 4 again. Multiply my 4's to give me 16. So that will be my new outside number, 16, square root of 6. That would be the final answer. All right. Last one, example 9. So I have a number on the outside. So we're going to keep that number out on the outside, and we're going to move it to the bottom at the end. But let's go ahead and see what perfect square goes into 48. So I'm just going to do 2 and 24. 2 is a dead number. 2 and 12. 2 and 6. 3 and 2. Okay, so I have 4 2's and 1 3. 4 2's and 1 3. How many groups of 2's do I have? 1, 2. Both coming on the outside. So 2 times 2 on the outside with a square root of 3 left on the inside. 2 times 2 is going to give me 4 with a square root of 3. Now I cannot forget about this square root of 3 that's in the front here. So I'm going to have to carry that down and put it in the front here. And I can just put it in parentheses. And I will multiply 3 times 4 then to give me 12, square root of 3. So whenever you have a number on the outside from the beginning, wait till you have it all simplified, and then go ahead and multiply the number that's on at the outside of the square root by that to give you your final answer. Okay. If you guys need any help, make sure you join the Google Meet. Good luck.